Okay, we're on. We're back, baby. Volume
Yes.
2.
I know. Oh my gosh, it was so fun the last time. I can't believe we get to do this finally again, right? Trying to sync up the schedules.
It's all right. Thank you for accommodating this because this actually worked out really great for me. The only person it didn't work out for was my dog because we're gonna walk after. We're usually walking right now, and she's a little bit mad. Plus, it's her birthday today.
Oh, right.
She's
Oh,
2,
oh,
our
so
little
cute.
puppy.
Wow, time flies.
I know. She's a sweet baby. So, because we have a little bit of lead time before Mother's Day, I love to talk to you about your mom. And
Yes.
one day, one time, I'll talk about my mom in the future, but I guess I wanted to talk about moms before Mother's Day because who wants to talk about their mom on Mother's Day when she's not here? I know I
Right.
don't.
Yes.
Um, so you and I bonded over losing our moms around a similar-ish circumstance, but I've never prodded you to this extent that I may today. And I'm going to take it easy because you're my friend. I'm not Diane Sawyer. I'm not going to make you cry like Britney Spears, I don't think. Um, so I guess I'd love to start with, something basic. What was your mom's first name?
Okay, her first name was Vanita.
Vanita, that's fancy.
It is.
It is fancy. So, what would you love people to know about your mom? Like just off the top of your head, like boom, first thing.
My mom was of her, a very unique person of her time. She is was very like inspirational for me and my sister to understand different cultures. She traveled so her and my dad, they traveled before it was, a thing to do and before the internet really where people go, to have their, fan base, see their travels. They did it solely just for the love of travel and expanding their worldview.
That's amazing. How fortunate. Okay, I don't want to like cut you off in case you had a response.
No,
I'm
no.
trying to really work on my ADHD and not start. I saw something that said like a conversation is somebody talking. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were supposed to exchange. I'm really working hard on it.
I'm right
So
there with you.
I
And
know.
I have to remember or remind myself that I've heard and seen this too, where you have to like wait minimum of 2 seconds before you speak again
That's
to
all
make
right.
sure that you're not over to. I go, oh, oops.
Whoops. I feel like we have a good conversational flow, and if people enjoy that about us, great. And if they don't, we're not for you, but I hope we
Hey,
are.
yes. I,
Um, what did your mom pass down to you that you didn't realize until after she was gone?
Mm. I mean, it was always in our family to be like have deep roots in our uh, Italian heritage, but I definitely appreciate her love of cooking and keeping that with my kiddos and showing them, the different dishes and keeping up with the traditions. And I never realized how much it wasn't about the food per se, like baking. We make this Easter bread that it's very niche because people really don't, on the whole, like um, black licorice, especially. And so it's anise that is what the black licorice flavoring is. And it's definitely, if you didn't grow up with I've tried to give it to my husband, my in-laws. They're like, it looks beautiful, but it's not for them. But my kids, they love it. Oh my goodness. So, And it's a very long process to make this bread. It's literally takes a day, has like 13 eggs. I mean, it's very protein rich and very like specialty. This is definitely not something that you're going to be eating, even a few times a year. It's definitely once a year. But yeah, and having those pictures of my kids when they were little making the bread with their we called my mom Nonna because that's the Italian name for grandma. So that was something special that we definitely like cherish, and I didn't know how profound I guess it was until she was gone. And then the next year I'm like, how do I even I had to do all this research to figure out how she just knew things like to with the temperature of the milk to make sure that it wasn't too hot and not, too cold. It was just lukewarm enough to expand the yeast and have that grow and just little things that our moms, aunties, grandmas, great grandmas knew in the kitchen that like I don't know these things. I just follow like a simple recipe. So yeah, those little intricacies.
That you learned how to measure with your heart.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
She sounds amazing so far, and now I'm probably going to start asking a little sadder questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
How old were you when she passed away?
I was in my early 30s.
Okay. What do you want to share about the circumstances? Obviously, I don't want to push too far or make you feel uncomfortable about anything you don't want to share about your mother, but, what happened to her?
Yeah, so it was a array of different things that kind of pushed her um, into her sickness, and she it's just like yeah, all the culminations of things, um, and her body just couldn't handle it. So what had happened is that she had been a diabetic for quite some time, and I honestly don't even know how many years because I think it's just was such like a stigma um, around diabetes many years ago, right? That I was like, oh, when you did this to yourself, and she, there was lots of aspects of herself that she just didn't feel comfortable sharing with the world, with her family, and even her kids. I think she just tried to be very strong, and she didn't want to be looked at in a different light with her diagnosis. So it was unfortunate that me and my sister, we found out that she was diabetic by when she was asking us to go get her something out of her closet, and her little test strips fell from the top of the closet where she was hiding. And we're like, what is this? And we knew because our grandfather was diabetic, but he was much older. So it just seemed more socially acceptable if you were an older
Older.
person to have type 2 diabetes. So, yeah. So that her levels just kind of like spiraled out of control. And I don't know if you're familiar with how a diabetes affects other parts of your body. It's not just your blood sugar. So it affects sometimes the feet. And so she would have like tingling and numbness. And she had like a disorder called, it sounds like shark foot, but it's Charcot foot, and it causes like issues with the bones and the toes of the feet. And then there's you just have to be very careful when you're diabetic with even blisters,
Okay.
because then those can fester. Oh, I don't like that, but into wounds. And yeah, that's we then the my grandfather, my mom's aunt, she dealt with that as well. So diabetes is just something that our family has to be very adamant on making sure we're healthy because we could slip definitely into that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a similar family background. Fortunately, I haven't dealt with it, but I've had some very close relations with I don't want to quite name like the relatives that are, but my father when he was alive, he was diabetic and I feel like there are other people that I've been pretty close to that are genetically close to, I believe are diabetic now, and that's a whole other side story and um you know it just it's nothing that I've ever felt like was justified to blame anybody for.
Mhm.
It happens, and sometimes it happens to people who, don't look like they would ever develop
Right.
diabetes. They have a relatively healthy lifestyle, and it could happen to anybody.
Right.
Um, well, how old was she when she passed away?
She was only in her mid 60s as well. And that's because she was such a kind of like closed off person, like we were saying, with um, not wanting people to really know her medical history. So people were kind of flabbergasted, and she was sick in the hospital for over a month, and she was taken to Stanford uh, because she never ended up regaining consciousness. She went into a diabetic coma. She slipped into one.
Oh, French.
And she, we were just, what, is she going to come out of this? There was just so much unknown for over a month. So at Stanford, they ran all these tests, and, then it was kind of up to us if she was with the feeding tube and whatnot, like if we're going to intubate and mind you, this was like right before COVID was, happening. So we're kind of thankful that we didn't keep her on life support because she would never have wanted that.
No, I
Uh,
understand.
So that was just an interesting time with the dynamics of the family trying to tell them that she had been very sick, and they're just kind of in disbelief that this could happen. And we understand that the anger that they were kind of projecting was
I'm
out
not
of
laughing at
concern, like,
you. I understand.
right. And I know on another episode we'll probably dive into you're right.
If
So
you were already the black sheep, but threw yourself in for a second dose of black sheepery, here we go.
there you go. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, so I was definitely pulled aside by different members of the family and friends, and well, how come she never let us know this and this, that, and the other about her health? But was it my place to really say
No.
anything? It wasn't. I had respect for her, and she can live her life the way that she wanted to, and I thought that would probably cause even more harm on her. I didn't want to go against her wishes and say anything behind her back because she lived the way that she wanted to live, and I think it would cause have caused even more problems with the family dynamics if I did, as she would say, not be loyal to her.
Yeah, I mean, understanding that perspective of like life after your mother or life as your mother is dying is becoming your mother's mother and being her advocate. Also, when people try to tell you things about your mother and you're literally like, that's my mother. Like I know her better than you think you know my mother. How dare you? I don't care if you're her sister, if you're her
Thank you.
brother, if you're even her
Mhm.
spouse. I know this woman. I've been with her my whole life.
Right.
I know her intimately.
Yes.
It's frustrating to say the least when people try to tell you something crazy about your own mother or how you handle something about what you personally know are her wishes and people try to battle you as if you've made that up. It's like, no,
No.
this is I I I am flesh of this woman's flesh. If anybody knows her, it's me. And yeah, it's very frustrating. But bouncing off of that, what was, and I know this has happened to you, what was like one of the most useless pieces of information you got from somebody during that time that just you would say, this is bad advice for anybody to give or to make a statement of? Was there something that somebody really pissed you off and they said something really out of pocket?
Well, it wasn't during the process of when, her in the process of passing, but it was after. And she was just so young. That's just so unfortunate. She was so young. She had so much life. And it's like, yep, I know that. Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, she was just so young. What
And thank
response?
you.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, and I just kept saying yes, it was very unfortunate. I mean, that's just what I could, muster up to say because, yeah. And then it was always, well, how's your dad doing?
I don't know, ask him.
Exactly. And that's my sister had that. So all of us kind of got that. Like, oh, but how's your dad? Oh, dad was just fine. He moved on, got married, you know, and I can't say that they, didn't have a good relationship, but he's going to do what he wants to do, right? And so I was like, it seems we don't have that type of relationship. It seems like he's doing fine. And if you want to go deeper and ask him those things, ask him how he's doing. So that's just the hard, I think this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before with being the older, you were the only girl, right, in your family
And the oldest.
and the eldest. Yeah, that is a kind of the role of being the mom in the situation was kind of put upon me. It's like, oh, my mom was, at the rock of the family. Everybody relied on her for the emotional stability and what to do, and that kind of just fell on me
Yeah,
in certain aspects, not like for the medical decisions. I just kind of reiterated, like we were saying, like what were her wishes because, right, I know her intimately. She would express, I would, being at the bedsides of other relatives and friends and everything, she would never have, wanted her life to be sustained just through tubes and all of that. She wouldn't want that. Uh, but I think people just think that they know best or wanted to give her, all these chances, but she wouldn't even financially have wanted that as well. That would, you may have come out of that, but it's just so many aspects of things that we had to think about that others were just in their feelings, I think, and we had to put those feelings aside and try to make the right decision for her.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's one thing whenever you can depend on family to be supportive. It's a whole other side project of this is not about you right now. I need to take care of her.
Hmm.
Um, oh gosh, are we already running out of time? Oh, we have 10 minutes left. Okay, I'm
Wow.
sorry. Wow, that went by so fast because you're a darling and I just adore you. Well, let's wrap it up with some fun questions, something nice. Is there Is there like a song or anything that makes you think of your mom? Like a
Wow.
nice one, not a sad one.
Oh my goodness. They're just music in general from the 50s to the 70s. Uh, and even she would just love to sing and even like play the recorder, that we did you play that in music
Oh,
like in
hot cross
fourth or fifth
buns.
grade? Yes, there you go. But she would bring out her wooden like carved recorder and she'd play for us and just little silly things
That's
like that.
adorable.
But I think Peter, Paul, and Mary, I think that some of those albums, oh, those were on repeat. And I think in my family as a whole, we really do, me and my sister just know so many like genres of music and just like the albums that like that's what we would love to look through is all their albums and cassette tapes and then onto the CDs and it was great and we all bonded over that and I think that helped my sister working with elderly people because they were just so impressed at you know how grand her knowledge was of all the old yeah, like classic music that and now there's like the oldies kind of of the 90s.
Nothing humbles you more than being in this grocery store. Like grocery outlet loves to do this to me. I'll be walking down the aisle and suddenly I'm like, gosh, are they playing Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots? And I'm like, oh no, they're playing classic rock. No.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Like they should be playing like Foreigner or something.
Right.
Not 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 Pearl Jam. I mean maybe Pearl Jam. I like a little Pearl Jam, but not all of it. Um, I guess if your mom was here today and she walked in on us doing this venture, I don't know what we want to call it, a channel, a podcast, I don't know. What do you think she would think about this?
She was a very like creative person and she loved to express herself in many ways. So I think but then she was a person that definitely needed to know the ins and outs of a project and what kind of it entailed and so I think once she understood that this is kind of like a form of self-expression I think she would have definitely greenlighted the project and would have been supportive, yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome. Well, this one's for you, Vanita. And because today is the 420 holiday,
Oh yeah.
me, I'll celebrate later for her on her behalf. I'll be like, this one's for you, Vanita.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, anything else you want to talk about? We have a few more minutes left. What are any like a little cute memory your children, since obviously your children got to meet your mother and baking bread with her and knowing your kids,
Right.
especially your daughter. I'm excited for you for that memory because that just I could just picture her especially being really into that, like making that bread again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she still has that love of baking and does that all on her own now. She's wonderful at it. But I think one of my favorite memories, and she appreciates this and talks about that, is how my daughter's just such an avid reader, she learned how to, I don't even know how or when she learned to read, but truly she was like in TK at age 4 and she was already reading, paragraphs. So the girl talked when she was first did her first words at like 5 months, and she could string sentences together at 11 months. So my mother was so great at because she only would work like half days. So she was able to come and help me with the kiddos in the afternoon. And she would always, always be reading to my daughter. Uh, and it's some of the cutest, I'll have to show you sometime of like my daughter would always just like pat books. She just like, oh, pat before, she could even talk. She just once she could sit up and then she was able to like turn the pages. She'd love that.
Right.
So I have so many pictures of my mom and my daughter like reading books together. And my mom always instilled that in to us. And that was some of the greatest memories
I
from
don't
when
know
we
why
would,
the book's breaking me down, but
yes,
I thought
yes,
it was ending on a soft note, and I'm like,
I know.
my mom was a big reader too, and I love that. I mean, I am also, but yes, I'm very similar. Like my mother was an avid reader. I have similar memories of just spending time with her, going to the library and reading, picking books out, and
Yeah,
having a big love of books from her too. So that's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Well, what a wonderful I enjoyed this story and it's new to me. I've only heard a little bit and piece here and there. Thank you for sharing that. I thought this was lovely and
Oh,
I'm
no,
proud of
thank
you.
you.
I know, friend. I'm proud of you. You're if nobody told you today, you're a wonderful daughter and you're a wonderful mother and you're doing a good job. And I would never tell
Oh,
you that bullshit unless I meant it. I
oh.
would just be like, oh, cool, you're great. So,
Well, it takes one to know one.
hey,
You're
thank you.
just as
It
fabulous.
is a mom knock life, and we're
Definitely
living in
is,
it.
for sure.
All right, my friend, I'm gonna wrap this up and let you get on with your day, and we will reconvene very soon. And
Sounds
on to
great.
the next.
Yes.
I
All
think
right.
this one will go smoother than our first foray. I feel like this might be ready to just almost go. I might just have to touch it up a little bit.
Well, great. All right.
All right,
Luck
hopefully
with that edit
hey,
and
if nobody
everything.
ever watches this, I don't care. I have a great time doing this and I know we have sisters out there and hopefully this finds them.
Hey, yeah, amen to that.
All right. All
Right.
right, take care, honey. Have a
All
wonderful
right.
day. Bye.
Bye.